This is a rough one, little bro. You went no contact. You did what you were supposed to do, and she still hasn't reached out. It's been a couple weeks, nothing. It's been a couple months, still nothing. She even updates her Instagram or posts on Snap, but here's the thing, she never reaches out to you. What are you doing wrong? Is this whole thing a waste of time? Why hasn't she reached out? I've got 4 reasons here for why she has not reached out to you yet. First off, when the relationship ends, and you need to listen, you need to really understand this, because some guys get this right, most guys get this wrong. When the relationship ends, and there's all this negative energy, she doesn't want to see you, she doesn't want to be around you, she doesn't want to be on the same planet as you. She's not going to go to your favorite spots, even if they were her favorite spots. Now they're not her favorite spots. She doesn't care that she has your hoodie. She doesn't care that you have something of hers. She doesn't want it back. She doesn't care about anything. And the more that you chase and the more that you pursue, the more negative emotion is going to build up in her towards you. That's important to understand because she will not reach out to you if there's still all that negative emotion. That negative emotion, what you need to understand about it is that it goes away on its own, only on its own after time. After time dilutes that supply of negative energy, right? It slowly comes down. So she views you a little bit more favorable. She's not as mad over something she was once mad at because, let's face it, you cannot feel the exact same way all the time, especially your ex. All of that just depends on how much negative energy she had when she left the breakup. So if you called her, blew up her phone, begging her to take you back, begging just to understand why, just for closure and why she would do this over text, why she would do this over phone, why she would do this now of all the times. Here's the thing, all of that does nothing but build up negative energy in her towards you. And what you need to do is step away. That's the point of no contact, by the way, is that it allows the negative energy that she has built up for you and for that relationship to disperse, to lessen, to significantly dip. Because at a certain point, she will never reach out to you. But over time, that negative emotion comes down. And she starts to view you not only as not as bad as she remembers, but maybe a little bit better than she remembers. And the whole trick to that, to letting that negative emotion come down, is to allow her time alone without you in her world. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because you think she's going to forget about me. I've got to remind her about me, about us, about how much I care for her. I've got to tell her all of this. But you don't. That will only work against you because it's going to make you chase her. It's going to make you look even weaker, even more unattractive to her. And all that negative emotion is going to build up all over again. You've got to stop doing that. You've got to let her go. You've got to detach and you've got to let her walk away. And at the same time, you need to respect yourself and walk away as well. Now, here's the worst possible thing is that she has a new man already. I know that is one of the worst things, to click on her Facebook profile and see that she is already with a new man. Even if she's not official, it still stings. Now look, odds are she only posted that a couple weeks after your breakup because she wants to get back at you. She wants to say, hey stupid, look how attractive I am, look how badly you messed up, and all that is a knife in your ego just twisting it, and twisting it, and twisting it. Because she wants you to still chase her. That's her ego. She wants you to chase her, to validate her, to grovel at her feet like she was the most important thing you've ever had in your life. And when you give her no reaction to her new man, no reaction to her new pics, that sets off a ticking time bomb, or at least places it in her mind that says, hey, you're not going to forget about me. And when this new high wears off, which is what we're actually talking about, that bomb is sitting right there. And the second that that new high comes down, that bomb goes off. And that bomb is your memory, your emotion, who you were. That's when she clicks on your profile when she hasn't heard from you in a couple months and is like, what happened to this guy? He was chasing me. He was needy. He was so desperate to get me back. And then he walked away like I was nothing. Her ego's not going to like that. So it's going to prompt her to want to reach out. Now, stay with me here, okay? Because I'm building all of this to one solid point that I really want you to understand. And that is there's hope, okay? It's okay to hope. It's okay to think that odds are, and listen to me, odds are high that she gets back to you eventually, okay? It may be a few months. It may even be a year, maybe 2. But here's the deal. I'm not saying that you're going to wait around for her. I'm telling you that's the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is that it takes her a while, but she will reach out and she will get back with you. What you need to understand is even if she's in a new relationship, and I don't know if it's a rebound, I don't know if she cheated on you with him, I don't know if she just picked this guy up, if they really do hit it off, I don't know. But here's one thing I do know, and this is what you're banking on, is that the honeymoon phase of her new relationship, her new man, all right, is going to erode, all right? So her emotional high right now, from her dating somebody new, from all the new attention, she's newly single, and her single friends, of course, are horrible because most women's friends are, and they're telling her you weren't anything, and that she was better off without you. And then here's the thing, she's got a new man now. She's feeling a high from him, a low from you. All of that is going to equalize. In other words, her new relationship, that honeymoon phase is going to dip to normal levels, what normal people experience in a relationship. And you and those awful feelings, that negative emotion, is also going to come down to normal levels where she doesn't hate you, where she doesn't avoid Walmart because she knows you work there anymore, all right? Now, she may not want to see you yet, but at least that negative emotion starts to come down and that honeymoon phase starts to get over with. And here's the thing, all of that happens with you doing absolutely nothing. Don't contact her, stay in no contact, work on yourself, let time work for you. Number 3, and this is really key here, and some guys just still don't get this, you haven't truly gone no contact. And what I mean by that is you're still texting her happy birthday. You're still texting her, hey, remember this? You are looking for every reason, every excuse in your mind, and your mind will come up with every excuse under the sun to reach out to her. But you've got to fight that. That is where emotional restraint comes in. Because the more you reach out to her, the more you think you're reminding her, hey, I exist, and hey, don't forget about me. But all that is doing is reminding her of how needy you are. God forbid you go a week without texting her. God forbid you go a month without texting her. And oh my God, if you go 2 months without hearing from her, you're just going to fall apart. All of that's weakness. Surely you can see that right now, little bro. All of that is just weakness. You walk away. You're not mad. You're not bitter. You just let her go. Okay. If you want to walk away, almost like, you're not going to say this, but it's almost like you're daring her to replace you. Yeah, she might try. She might try, absolutely. And I'm not saying that you have to take her back at all. I am saying that even if she tries, she's going to have one hell of a time replacing what you two had together. So when it comes to no contact, you need to actually go no contact. You're not going to view her stories on Instagram. You're not going to view her snaps. You're not going to view them. Like, forget about commenting or liking. You're not even going to view them. Mute her profile, okay? I'm not telling you to block them because that's childish. I'm not telling you to ignore them either if they reach out because that's childish. But you are going to mute them. You are not going to be tempted whatsoever to comment on any of their posts, to like any of their posts, to comment or like any of their stories, not even to view them. You have got to remove yourself from her world because that's what she wanted. That is in essence what she was telling you. She was saying, hey, I don't want to be a part of a world with you in it. And you've got to say, you know what? I'm going to give you exactly what you wanted. And what women often find is that that's not what they really wanted. That what they had with you was a little bit different, a little bit special, and you have a little bit more history than her new guy. So her new guy is not what you need to be worried about. What you need to be worried about is you staying strong, keeping in no contact, and working on yourself. And this is my last point, but I got a bonus point here that's going to stitch all of these together to what it really means. So please listen and pay attention. Not enough time has passed is going to be the 4th reason. Okay, now stick with me here. A lot of guys think that when they go no contact, they have this imaginary timeline in their head. They think, all right, we talk every single weekend, or we date every single weekend. We did this thing every single day, whether it was a good morning text, a good night text, whatever. And after a few days, she's going to notice my absence and she's going to reach out. And the honest and simple truth is, you're half right. After a couple days, she does notice your absence. She does notice that this world's a little bit different without you in it. But she's still in the stage where she's not only okay with that, she's probably celebrating it. And so, man, we have this idea in our mind that what we're going to do is we're going to put a time limit on no contact. We're going to say that if she gets back in touch with me in less than a month, I'll take her back. And then if she gets in touch with me after a month, I'm not going to take her back because that's just too long and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't align with my time scale. It's like those things are your bid to control not only the relationship, but her, and that's toxic. You have got to let women come and go as they please. I'm not saying you have to take them back, but I am saying that you have to live in such a way that you are almost daring them to replace you. Daring them to say, hey, if you think that what I offer you isn't that great, isn't that special, try it. Go out with that guy. Go on a few dates. See what happens. Now, here's where I want to stitch all of this together. The 4 reasons why she hasn't gotten in touch with you is because things ended badly, really badly, and there's a lot of negative emotion that she still has towards you and towards the relationship. That was number 1. Number 2 is that she might have a new man, a new supply, a new person feeding her ego that's keeping her distracted from you, or she's in a honeymoon phase. That feeling has got to decrease. It's got to regulate on its own and can only regulate itself through time. Number 3, you need to make sure you're actually in no contact. You're not liking any of her posts, viewing any of her stories. You're not texting her good morning. You're not texting her happy birthday. Nothing like that. She wanted a world without you in it, and you've got to give it to her. You are in true no contact, and part of the reason she's probably not reaching out is because you truly haven't gone no contact. And then number 4, simply not enough time has passed. You set an imaginary boundary in your mind that said, hey, if she texts me back in under a month, that means she was actually into me. After a month, she wasn't that into me, and I'm just going to be feeding her ego. It's like, emotions do not work that way. They don't work on your timetable. So you've got to let go of the idea that you're going to control the outcome. So why hasn't she reached out? I'm going to stitch it all together right here, all right? It's because there's too much negative energy from your relationship still in her mind. Her new man is keeping her occupied. She is in the honeymoon phase with her new relationship, her new supply, whatever. That's not going to wear off anytime soon. But maybe within a month or 2 it does, and that's usually the time frame for it to do so. That feeling with her new man has got to come down. As long as you've gone no contact, as long as you've allowed enough time to pass, as long as that negative emotion has come down, and it will come down with time, as long as that honeymoon phase has come down to a normal level of a normal relationship, she will reach out to you. She will wonder about you. She will think about you, and she will even miss you, although she's not going to say that yet. What you need to do is to stay calm, to not react to anything. She's probably trying to bait you on social media with posts, with stories, with whatever else it is. It's just her trying to bait you into a reaction. Don't give into it. Stay calm, stay silent, and let silence work for you, and let time work for you instead of against you. Why hasn't she reached out? You just need to give it more time. There's always hope if you want to hold on to hope. If not, you can always just let her go. But I think the reason you're watching this is because you want a reason to still hope, even though she hasn't reached out. And I'm telling you from experience, all of my exes have always reached out to me. Some after days, some after weeks, some after months, some after years. I had an ex get a hold of me through a friend after 9 years, okay? And look, that's worst case scenario, okay? That only happened one time. But I'm telling you, it happens. People getting back together with their exes isn't even uncommon anymore. It's something that everybody knows about, everybody's heard about, okay? So take a deep breath. The odds are very high that she's not over you. You can do this, little bro, all right? I believe in you. You've got this, and I've got you, and I'll see you in the next one.